Okay, so in this video, we're gonna look at Red Velvet again. I recently did a reading on Red Velvet. It was requested by one of you guys. You guys can now request readings. But anyway, in that reading, I think I said that Red Velvet was semi-shelved and like SM was not pouring as much money into them. But I did not know that they were gearing up for a comeback. So I want to see how the comeback's gonna go, how the girlies are feeling about it. With that being said, everything I say is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. And with peace and love. And let's go. Okay, Red Velvet's comeback. Page of Pentacles, or Page of Cups, or okay, well, the Page of, I'm gonna be honest, so far, energetically, it's giving, like, I'm asking a lot, a little unsatisfied with creative direction, and, like, I feel like some of the members, honestly, if I, like, in my mind, I see some of the members feeling unsure about this comeback from an artistic standpoint, maybe? I'm not sure. It'd be like if you're working on a project, and you're like, I don't know if this is, like, quality. I don't know. I do see the members working very hard. I think everyone is taking this seriously at the very least. But there's something like a little like about it, especially because Page of Pentacles, in this case, so Page of Pentacles is like working at something. It's very good. Like you're trying to improve your craft, even though I mean like they've been in the industry what, like over 10 years. There's something about like asking. This is like a card of like, please sir, can I have some more? Page of Cups in the reverse position is also really interesting, but in this case it feels sort of like I can't enact my creative vision as much as I want to. This feels like the member specifically. The star in the reverse position is also not like the best card you kind of want to pull, because if it's in the reverse position, it's sort of like I don't feel as elevated as I could be. I don't feel as like in celebrity, because it's sort of like rising star, you know what I mean? It's also a card of vulnerability and building. In the reverse position, it's literally like, I don't feel like as it. For whatever reason, I keep seeing Irene specifically. I see her face. Her face is like neutral, but it doesn't look very impressed. It's just neutral. Almost like she's managing her face. I'm not sure. Let's keep going. Lack of completion? No. You know, honestly, I kind of wanted to do this reading because when I did the first reading, I didn't know they were coming back with a comeback, and I was like, they're not gonna come back. I said that there was a possibility, but it would be like, oh, like it'd be like, well. And so I wanted to do this reading to see if like maybe I could see more with more information that I know now. The cards are still kind of giving like there's something not being poured into with their comeback, or it's like, and the members know this or notice this. It's either something to do with like promotion or like the quality itself with the comeback. It would be like if like their outfits like on stage, they look kind of dinky or cheap almost. And the members are like, why are we not getting the kind of outfits that I guess you could see like aespa getting, for example? There's something about that. The tower stresses me out though, because I'm like, why did we get the tower? This is a lot of major arcana, because you have the star right there, and then you have the world in the reverse position, which is like a lack of completion or something not following through. I keep hearing that. Something's not following through. The tower is like a shakeup. You could argue it's a disaster. Something like the structure of something is changing. I feel like I said this in the last video, and I still kind of think this. Like, if you're a fan, you're going to be like, a little like, what? I don't think this is going to be a bad comeback. I really want to make that clear, but I think it's going to be maybe there's something disappointing about it, or it's like it's over too quickly, or it's like you can tell that like just compared to other groups, there's not as much like put into it. There's something about that. I do think people are trying. I don't know what the issue is. If it's maybe SM just simply doesn't have the budget or doesn't want to allocate the budget, or maybe something fell through. I'm not sure. I don't know why I'm stuck on that. Anyway, this is also, like, the Five of Cups is not the best card, because this is, like, grief. Crying over spilled milk, focusing on what went wrong. This row is not, like, great energy, personally. I don't know, partly, I looked at the graphics for, like, Red Velvet's comeback. I think it's so pretty looking, but, like, the cards are sort of like, well, I guess we'll have to see when things... They're coming back in August, right? The sun, okay. Transition, moving on. Ace of Cups, that's like fulfillment. Well, kinda. It's the beginning of something new, especially emotional. And the sun is a good card. It's like happiness. It's like illumination. Oh, this seems like after the comeback, or maybe during the comeback, but definitely I don't think this seems like after something else has happened. Specifically because if we go back, and you have the tower, like something's not being complete. Then the tower is like a big calamity, and then disappointment, and then transition after that. Almost like something, it could be like a malfunction on stage, or like people, like fans are really mad at like, you know, Wendy for something, I don't know. And then it's sort of like, I think it's sort of like they're going to go through a period of hardship and then ultimately it will be better. I don't know why. That's strange. That's building on an infertile field. Again, there's something about resources. They're not getting allocated adequate resources. This is a good card because it's building. It's sort of like, usually in the early stages of planning something, especially your future, the Empress is though not taking care of yourself. Oop, not you. Juggling things, balancing things, other groups perhaps, emotionally walking away from something. The King of Swords in the reverse position. I think Red Velvet will be quite heartwarmed. I think they actually have been the entire time how much fans fight for them. Truly, I think they're very heartwarmed by fans. I don't think they like being that separate from their fans, and I don't think they've liked how long they've been on hiatus. It seems like whatever the happiness is, it feels like it's going to be the advocacy that people do on their behalf. That's what it feels like. Yeah. I do think they're excited to be in front of fans again. They love their fans. Or, I mean, I'm speaking for like 5 people, but I think a couple of members, probably all of them, but a couple of members love Red Loves. Red Loves. This is walking away from something emotional. The King of Swords is also such an interesting card to get because there's something about promotions. I'm obsessed with this. I don't know why. I'm channeling, by the way. I'm not like, these are not my formed opinions, but I really feel like there's something about promotions or like how it also I guess could be like a lyric or something, but there's something about like how this is presented that is like it falls flat. Like it literally feels like someone like falls flat on their face. It's interesting. I don't know why. There's definitely issues with resources for one reason or another. I mean, I could be completely wrong. It's like this is the best comeback they've ever had. I'm excited. It looks fun. But you might be like, this is a little like dinky for what we expected. You are my crush. Going back to the drawing board. I really feel like they're not gonna have routine comebacks because I see like them coming into the limelight and then fading back again, which is a shame. I feel like they're gonna definitely have this comeback and then you might not see them again. The Hermit going back into the dark. The Fool in the reverse position is like, we know this rodeo and like a lack of prominence again. Yeah, I do think I agree with my previous reading. It seems like they're not gonna like, it's like you're back into the shadows again after this comeback for a while. I don't think they're ever really gonna fully let Red Velvet go. Is SM known to disband groups or do they just kind of leave them in limbo? Right, because Girls' Generation hasn't ever disbanded. They just like come back sometimes. I think Red Velvet has been moved to kind of a legacy group, which I don't fully understand because it seems like they still have quite an active and big fan base. Or at the very least a quite dedicated fan base. They're getting also a lot of major arcana in their reading, which suggests to me that there's like I do think some of the members are speaking up. I also think this is kind of why some of the members left the company, because it's a lot of frustration. It's a lot of like, you're not listening to us. Because I think it's one thing to not speak up because the company's just like whatever, but I think it's a different thing to speak up and the company's just like, who cares? There's such a difference between those two things. And it seems like even if like you have all of the energy and power behind you, it's like if the person that can really like do the thing won't listen to you. Because I mean like ultimately like SM owns like the IP that is Red Velvet, even if the members all wanted to like gather around and do their own thing. Kind of like what New Jeans tried to do. I do see them going back into like the shadows again after this for a while. I feel like there's one member in specific that does not like the way this comeback is being handled. It's not even like they don't like the concept or what the vibe is. It's like they don't like the way it's being executed. There's something about that. Page of Wands in the reverse position. I feel like it's an older member too. That's just sort of like this after everything. Like it's interesting. 9 of Wands in the reverse position. Suspicion, the Magician. This could, I guess, could be read as sort of like, we expected better or we could do better. I cannot shake the feeling there's one member that's like looking around like, what? This? Like it's like so angry. Sort of like, I guess because it's like, if you compare like what they do for aespa, not to drag aespa into this. I love aespa, y'all know that. I love aespa, but like there's something about like we know you have the money. Like what is this doing? Their cards are not like favorable. It's not, because I thought like low-key I maybe just misread the first reading, the fact that I didn't know they were coming back, but it really is giving like they aren't going to be coming back all that often, and there's something weird about the comeback. I'm excited though. Although I'm not trying to be negative in this reading. I do feel a sense of like there's something interesting about this comeback, or like the music's going to be good, even if the whole hullabaloo around it isn't. I don't think it's the best I could have done. I think that's maybe, if there's a member in Red Velvet that's quite perfectionistic, I think that might be the member that's upset, because there's something about like this could be so much better than it is. And I think as a fan, you might pick up on that. But also, I don't feel like the members and the people behind the scenes who like, you know, create outfits for Red Velvet or whatever, the people who don't really have decisions, but like help them create, you know, their stuff. I feel like there's a sense of like, what's going on here? At the same time, like as a fan, like I'm quite excited. Like if I tap into like fan energy, it could just be because fans know there's like a comeback coming. I think there are things that you're going to be like upset more at the company, and then there's going to be like excitement. Like you see the vision, even if it wasn't like fully rectified, yeah, fully erected. Lovers, I think some people might leave. Some more people might leave SM. Stay in Red Velvet, but leave SM. There's a separation coming. I don't know what this means, but I sense there's a separation coming. I can't parse apart what that would mean. And the 10, this is the end of something. Ugh, that's what it is. Because the Emperor is like power, and I feel like another person is going to leave SM. Is anyone's contract coming up soon? I'm not sure. Because this is like the final blow. And then it's like the Lovers in the reverse is like separation from the thing in power, which I would imagine is SM. Like this is the final nail in the coffin. I imagine that companies don't really love not being able to represent their specific idol anymore and control entirely their whole image. That's really interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of conversations Red Velvet has after this comeback. But I don't know if they're going to be that fruitful, to be honest. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know if I should post this or not. I feel conflicted because I don't want to like disappoint Red Loves. You know what I mean? Because I may be wrong. Like you should always keep that in the back of your mind. I'm just channeling energy. This isn't even like me being like consciously thinking. But it seems like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Well,